Hi, my name is Sandeep Kaur. Today I am going to talk about country Nepal. Nepal is a federal democratic republic of Nepal and is known as the landlocked Himalayan country. It is located in the South Asia. The geographical condition of the country depict that the country has the fertile plains, forested hills, and eight of the world's highest mountains, including Mount Everest. In this video, I would like to discuss some important facts about Nepal that are having impact on the business. The political structure of Nepal. As far as the political structure of Nepal is concerned, Nepal was a constitutional monarch until the year 2007 when an interim constitution was formed for the country. The monarchy was abolished by voting and later in the year 2008, new constituent assembly that was elected via voting was confirmed. And the prime minister of the country is also elected by ballot of the constituent assembly and has the responsibility of appointing new cabinet coalition partner. The two dominant political parties of Nepal are the Nepali Congress and the Communist Party. And the second is economic structure. The economic structure of Nepal is a developing country and majority of the economy of the country is dependent on the agriculture. But recent the country has been struggling to extend their manufacturing industry as well as the technological sector, and as a result of this these sectors are gaining more recognitions and have attained much progress. It has been found that the major economic activity in Nepal is farming, followed by the trade, tourism, and the manufacturing industry. The country has the cheap source of the foreign currency but by the export of the merchandise, tourism, service, and Gurkha remittance. As per the reports, the annual GDP of the country is US $4.3 billion and 40% of the GDP is from the agriculture activities alone and rest ID from manufacturing, tourism and trade etc. And the next is culture of Nepal. The culture of Nepal is a country with diverse culture and each and every part of the Nepal is having different culture and traditions which makes it more diverse. Only Kathmandu, which is the capital city of the Nepal, is having blend of different culture and form its national identity. The major factor which is very prominent in the culture of Nepal is the religion of the country, and different festivals adds more color to the diversity of the country. And the main facts is that the Nepali people celebrate each and every festival with great enthusiasm and great food. And the impact of political and economic environment. The political and the economic environment has experienced many ups and downs, and the research has found that the economic of Nepal is lacking the entrepreneurial dynamics, which is the major requirement of for the strong economic growth of the country. And although government has been taking certain initiatives to improve the conditions, but unfortunately the reforms efforts chosen were not strong enough to reduce the poverty struck parts of the country. As the state of the hinders the development of the private sector, instability of the politics have further weakened the overall conditions of the country, as well as the capacity to implement the economic reforms for creating the stable environment for the overall development of country, and the more and the such instability in the economic and the political conditions of the country has negatively impacted the overall business activities. The poor political and the economic regulations have resulted in the increase in the corruption, lack of transparency, and many more hindrances. Because of these hindrances and the expansion of the private investment and production have seen a downfall, the judicial system of the country also experienced the undermining of the property rights, and this has resulted in the corruption and the political influence. Considering the facts and the figure, it has been found that the agriculture activities are the major economic activity that most people are engaged in, and this provides employment to the 65% of the total population of the country, and 40% of the GDP comes from the agriculture activities. The total cultivable land of Nepal is only 20%, and 40.7% of the area is under forest, and remaining consist of the mountains. The major food crops are the rice and wheat. Among the total GDP, 29% of the GDP is dependent on the foreign workers, and the overall economic development is not prominent in the social service and the infrastructure. Since 2000, the overall merchandise trade balance of Nepal has improved a lot, and the major sector of the imports are the carpet and the garment industry. As per the figure, the export income increased by 14%, while the imports of the products made a small increase of 4.5%. In the year 1996 to 1999, the real GDP of the country was less than 4%, but later the country has seen an increase of 6% of the real GDP of the country. The legal system of Nepal is based on the common law, but it has been found that the property rights are not effectively protected as per the law, and in case of any property dispute or any other business dispute, it may take years to resolve them. The law provides the independent judiciary, but the courts of the Nepal are very vulnerable to the pressure from the political parties, bribery, etc. The research has found that there are numerous reports on the corrupt leaders, governmental officials, etc., and the problem of the corruption and the impunity are the major downfall experienced by the local as well as the business sector of the country. Trade is very important for the economy of Nepal, and if the overall value of the import as well as export is considered together, then the total GDP, and the total GDP comes out to like 53%, and the average tariff rates is 10.9%. Both the judicial as well as the regulatory system impact the foreign investment, and the economy is also distorted by the state-owned foreign companies. The overall financial system of the country is very vulnerable, and the influence from the government and the financial supervision is inadequate. And the next one is ethics. As far as the ethics are concerned, the Nepal has been under the eye of the ethics, as the private sector business is constantly major concern of the ethical matters. The private sector of the business is accused for black marketing, smuggling, sale of fake products, and bribery, etc. The country has also found that the health, education, and transport is impacted by the mafias, and on the other hand, the financial and the cooperative systems, cooperative sectors are highlighting the thugs and swindlers. And it is highly required by the government of the country to take certain to get rid of all the ethical concerns, and in order to have a overall growth overall growth of the country, like as rid of ethicals and the growth of country. Thank you.